Good evening, I'm back. My name is Dr. Spirit, and this is my channel. May the words of my mouth, meditation of my soul be accepted and thine on sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. I plead the blood. Amen. Okay, this is a series of self care. So, this discusses the brain's effects and what happens if a part of the brain is damaged. Of self care too. I told you everything. No. So let's get on with it. Okay, let's see here. We will start our okay with simple things like okay, the brain and how it functions. Okay, the human brain is incredibly complex. Yes, it is, and fascinating organ. And here are some of the overview and functions of the brain, the structure. The cerebrum and the function is the largest part of the brain, responsible for activity, sensory perception, and cognitive functions like thinking, learning, and memory. The components divided into two hemispheres, the left and the right, and four lobes: frontal, parietal, I think it's in the back, uh, temporal, and occipital. Cerebellum functions located under the cerebrum. It coordinates muscle movements, posture, and balance. The brainstem, the function. It connects the brain to the cord and controls vital and voluntary functions such as heart rate, breathing, and digestion. Okay, the limbic system. It, its functions are involved in emotion, motivation, and memory. Key structures include the hippocampus, memory formation, and amygdala, emotional process. Now, how it functions. Neurons, number one. The basic neurons are the building blocks of the brain responsible for transmitting information through electrical and chemical signals. Synapses, neurons communicate with each other at junctions called synapses, where neurotransmitters are released to carry signal across the gaps. Neurotransmitters and their function. Chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine that transmit signals across synapses. Each neurotransmitter has specific roles such as regulating sleep and muscle movement. Sensory processing. Input. The brain receives information from the senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, and processes it to generate appropriate responses. Integration. Different brain regions work together to interpret sensory data and coordinate actions. Motor control. Voluntary movements. The motor cortex in the frontal lobe sends signals to muscles to initiate movements. Coordination. The cerebellum ensures smooth and balanced movements. Cognition and emotion. Thinking and learning. The prefrontal cortex is involved in decision making, problem solving, and planning. Emotions. The limbic system, including the amygdala and hippocampus, plays a key role in emotional experiences and memory formation. Homeostasis, regulation. The brain regulates internal body conditions such as temperature, hunger, and thirst to maintain a stable state. Plasticity, adaptation. The brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new, now this is amazing, by forming new neural connections throughout life, enabling learning and recovery from injuries. So it places new neural connections and it gets rid of, the brain does, the old connections that's damaged. The brain's intricate network of neurons and various regions work in harmony to enable thought, movement, sensation, and emotional. It's a marvelous, it's a marvel of nature that constantly adapts and evolves, and it does. I'm proof of that from being in ICU and not able to walk or hardly talk at all, and different things. It was hard to use my hands. So I'm proof of that. And how important is the brain to the human body? The brain is the motor, like the motor is to a car. So it's very important. The brain is incredibly important to the human body, as it serves as the control center, like the motor of the car, for nearly all bodily functions. Now, here's an overview of critical roles. Central nervous system control, coordination. The brain controls and coordinates all voluntary and involuntary movements. Sensory information processing. It processes information from the five senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, allowing us to perceive and interact with the world. Makes cognitive functions, thinking and reasoning, responsible for higher order functions like thinking, problem solving, and decision making. Memory and learning, crucial for forming, storing, and recalling memories, and for learning new formation. Regulation of body systems. Homeostasis maintains balance in the body's internal environment. Hormone regulation controls the release of hormones from the endocrine system, affecting growth, metabolism, and reproduction. The brain's emotional and social functions. Emotion regulation processes and regulates emotions, enabling us to respond appropriately to different situations. Social interaction facilitates social behaviors and interactions, allowing for communication and empathy. Protective mechanism, reflex actions, manages quick automatic responses to certain stimuli to protect the body from harm. Pain perception. You see how important the brain is? And pain signals to alert us to potentially injury or illness. The impact on daily living, they can influence choices we make from simple daily decisions to complex life changing ones. Physical health. A healthy brain is essential for overall physical well being, affecting everything from movement to organ function. Mental health and well being are directly linked to brain function, impacting mood, behavior, and cognitive performance. The brain's importance to the human body cannot be overstated. It is essential for every aspect of life, from basic survival functions to complex thought processes and emotional experiences. That's how important the brain is. Now, brain is damaged. This what will happen in different parts of the brain. The impact of brain damage on the body depends on which part, as I said, of the brain is affected. And here are some examples of that. The frontal lobe, this part, functions involved in decision making, problem solving, emotional regulation, and motor functions. And this is the effect that it will have if that part is damaged. Make changes in personality, difficulty with planning and organizing, impaired judgment, motor weakness, and issues with speech, Broca's aphasia. That's like when someone has a stroke and one part of their face or body uh, is damaged. That's what Broca's and can't hardly talk, and that's what Broca's aphasia is. Parietal lobe functions, processes sensory information, spatial orientation, and body awareness. And the effects, if damaged, can lead to difficulties in recognizing objects, issues with spatial orientation, problems with coordination, and impaired sensations such as touch and temperature. Okay, the temporal lobe functions involved in processing auditory information, memory and language comprehension, and if that part is damaged, these are the effects. May result in memory loss, problems with understanding language, Wernicke's aphasia, auto hallucinations, and changes in behavior and emotions. The next is occipital lobe, processes vision, what you see, information. And if damage can cause visual disturbances such as blindness in certain areas of the visual field, difficulties in recognizing objects and faces, and visual hallucination. The next one is the cerebellum. Functions, coordinates movements and balance. And if damaged, can lead to loss of coordination, ataxia, difficulties with balance, tremors, and impaired fine motor skills. Hmm, Okay. Brainstem functions controls basic life such as heart rate, breathing, and sleep. Damage effects can be life threatening, leading to issues with breathing, heart function, swallowing, and consciousness. Next is the limbic system. Functions involved in emotion, memory, and motivation. And if damage may cause changes in emotional responses, memory impairments, and difficulties with motivation. The hippocampus, its function is critical to memory formation, and if damaged, can result in an anterograde amnesia, inability to form new memories. Okay? Amygdala, its functions involved in emotional processing and fear responses. And if damage can lead to difficulties in recognizing emotions, reduce fear responses, and emotional instability. Examples of these common conditions: stroke can cause a range of effects depending on which brain area is affected, including paralysis, speech difficulties, and cognitive impairments. TB, I, traumatic brain injury, may result in a combination of motor, cognitive, and emotional deficits. Okay, Alzheimer's disease, another example, primarily affects the hippocampus and other areas, leading to progressive memory and cognitive decline. In conclusion, each part of the brain has specialized functions, and damage to any specific area can significantly impact those functions and the overall health and well being of an individual. And the brain is very important to the body. You see what happens if it's damaged, and you see how important it is to the body, and the brain is divided into different parts to work with the different parts of the body. I hope this information have been helpful to you. So like, subscribe, and thank you for watching my channel. And I will be bringing more and more education and information for your spirituality. Thank you. And please remember to call me doctor. I, I am a real doctor, and I went to college for it. Thank you. And namaste.